Hello and welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news and wrestling discussions. This is just a channel where you get to talk wrestling and discuss all the biggest topics. I am, of course, your host, Alexis Carrillo, and if you recall, I haven't been a part of this channel. I haven't really kept this channel alive or pretty much active since November of last year, so I've missed a few things here and there, and so, it's almost going to be August of 2019, and I'm going to go all the way back to midnight of this very year when the Young Bucks and Cody and the rest of the elite wrestlers clique announced that they were going to be founding, along with Jacksonville Jaguars co-owner Tony Khan, that they were going to be founding a brand new wrestling promotion. The All Elite Wrestling, AEW, came out of pretty much nowhere, even though, pretty much late last year there were a lot of rumors, along with trademarks being registered from AEW itself. So it was all a matter of making it official, but the wrestling fans could finally get excited about seeing a possible true competitor to WWE for the first time in almost a decade. Why do I say almost a decade? Because if we all remember, back in 2009, we had this little TNA wrestling company where they brought in Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, and people, believe it or not, a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of wrestling fans today might say no, it never truly was competition, or it never truly was a big enough threat to WWE. But at the time, late 2009, early 2010, people believed in TNA wrestling as competition. That didn't pan out, and we have to go all the way back to 1995 when we had a much more similar situation as to where we are today, with Ted Turner's WCW, the launching of Nitro, them having a big enough paycheck and a big enough stage to do so. And that brings us to 2019, where we have AEW coming out, and this fall, on October 2nd, they debut on TNT, which is groundbreaking. It is exciting. It is pretty much the most exciting news in professional wrestling in a decade. That's a fact. Okay, the world is ablaze. The wrestling world is ablaze, I should say. People are talking about this, but the real question that everyone should be asking themselves, and the real question that many have already asked about this entire AEW situation, is, can AEW compete with WWE? Can this upstart company with billions of dollars backing it in the form of Tony Khan, and this big stage, big cable channel like TNT, compete against the established juggernaut, the empire itself that is WWE? And first and foremost, it doesn't seem like they're going to compete head to head. Obviously, it's not going to be Monday night versus Monday night. And AEW is going to debut on a Tuesday night, pretty much at the same time that SmackDown Live, which today currently is on Tuesday nights on the USA Network, is going to be heading over to Friday nights on Fox. So it's not going to be a Tuesday night war. It's just going to be a competition amongst these professional wrestling companies. But with that question at the beginning of it all, who's going to win? Can AEW compete with WWE? In my opinion, they can't today. They can't, and today they shouldn't. They should not compete with WWE. They can't compete with WWE. I mean, you've got all these AEW fans coming out from the wrestling, the internet wrestling community. They're coming out and they're pretty vocal about supporting AEW. And the thing is, I am supporting AEW. I do wish them the very best. I do want every single wrestling company out there to succeed. But you've also got to be realistic. And WWE is an established brand. WWE is not going anywhere. They have the money, they have the sponsors, they have what people say is brand. They have brand recognition. They have a brand established. That's what's going to keep them afloat. That's what's been keeping them afloat. That's why they got that big deal with NBC to renew their rights, and that deal with Fox to get SmackDown's rights, because they are a sure thing. They are established. Even with the declining ratings, people still watch WWE. People still attend WWE events. And compared to AEW, yes, AEW has had two sold out shows, two very good shows that have pretty much brought back this atmosphere of this electrifying atmosphere that people want back. That, if I recall correctly, the last time we had that was during the Attitude Era. And people want that, and the only way to truly get that is through competition. But the thing is, AEW is taking baby steps, has been taking baby steps pretty much since it was born in January, but then it's going to start running on October. It's going to start running and trying to compete with the Empire, with the Machine. The Machine does not stop. The Machine is... There's a reason why they call it the Machine. It's a well-oiled machine. There's nothing that you can do that could stop it. AEW, on the other hand, they're still figuring stuff out. They're still going to be, for the next couple of years, possibly more, they're going to still be figuring out their role in this entire industry. So, if anyone in AEW asks me, no, you shouldn't compete with WWE. No, you won't compete with WWE, other than the fact that you're both pro wrestling companies. You're both TV shows. That's pretty much it. And that's it. I don't think AEW should be head-on against WWE. I think they should grow their own fan base. They should grow their own alternative fan base, their own alternative product. And then 5, 10, 15 years down the line, hopefully they've created their own stars. First and foremost, All Out coming in August, I believe. Hopefully they can make their first big star in Adam Hangman Page. Pretty much rooting for him to become the first AEW World Heavyweight Champion. But AEW should really focus on them, on building their brand on their own. Focus on your product. And then, if things come organically, then you can beat WWE just like WCW did. WCW did try to compete with WWE. They brought in these big stars. They had the big TV deal, and eventually, even with all that, they couldn't beat WWE. It had to come organically, and it came with the NWO. So, with that said, AEW, I wish them all the very best. I will be watching October 2nd on TNT. I will be rooting for all of them, and as most fans should, because the fact of the matter is, the wrestling industry, the wrestling world, the wrestling fan base needs a lot more wrestling companies, a lot more thriving businesses in the wrestling industry to get better products, because WWE has been stated in the past, their product has been on the decline, which is why they brought in Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff to try and fix that. So, but hey, those are my thoughts. What do you think? Do you think AEW can and should compete with WWE right off the bat, or are you more on my side of things? Do you agree with me more so than the other AEW fan base? You think that, they have the tools to eventually get there, but right now they're going to have to take it easy and focus on themselves. Leave your thoughts and comments on the comments section below. Of course, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. Really, it's all about what you think. And if you really want to support this channel, if you really want to support me, Alexis Carrillo, pumping out more wrestling news and wrestling discussion based content right here on YouTube, then why don't you go ahead and subscribe? Click that subscribe button. It really helps out this channel. And of course, see you next time.